working with Tom, it was just talking to him and understanding, okay, how to improve each week. He texted me after the game, don't be satisfied. Like, it's cool. So it was cool hearing from him, knowing he's still watching and stuff like that. But just working with him, it really helped me just understand, don't focus on the good things. We did that. That's night and day. We're going to do that regardless. Focus on the bad things. Focus on the things that we wasn't able to do at a high level. So improve that, then you got full armor everywhere. But if you just focus on the good, the things in the light, knowing, okay, Dylan had a lot of receiving yards, but it's okay, Dylan, on this one route, you gotta make this decision. So it's just really just like highlighting the bad things that we did and watching that over and over and over and giving us that bad feeling like we can't make that same mistake.
So focus on the bad things. Don't get caught up in the good. I guess that's Tom Brady's mentality, to just keep wanting more, keep pushing for more. And this is a pretty interesting story here, man. But I always wonder when it comes to a lot of these stories, NFL-wise, right, regarding players that got to hit that draft. You know, there's so much that can happen draft-wise, where a team falls in the draft order and what can be done, trying to finesse some trade moves come draft day. And what we're talking about here is that clip is from like last year, 2023, Shedeur Sanders, who already possesses this amazing star power, right, without ever setting foot in the NFL, is kind of the landscape of sports and college sports with these NIL deals, these players being able to earn money now on a collegiate level, which is something that I think should have been happening a long time ago, man. That kicker who refused to give up his YouTube channel really was the catalyst to changing the game. But Tom Brady, dating back to that whole tampering situation involving the Miami Dolphins, I think with the ultimate goal of him eventually being involved in ownership of the team, which didn't end up happening. We now know that's happened with the Raiders. It just kind of shows he's always wanted to be heavily involved with the team come retirement, you know, still being a part of an NFL team and trying to bring the Tom Brady way, not the Patriot way, right? The Tom Brady way to whatever organization that is. And there's a big story that broke how a few years back, with him still playing, you know, there was a bunch of different moves that were supposed to go down to bring Brady to the Raiders as a player, which never ended up happening. And there's been just so much stuff with the Raiders, who are on the tail end of just a dismal, horrific season. As it seemed, this team has just been caught up in situation after situation with drama and things just not going the way it's supposed to go. It just seems like there's always a split within the organization, inner drama, internal beef within the team, and the team is paying for it in a sense with their performance. There's not clear leadership making strong, righteous decisions, and it seems that Tom Brady, I think, just officially becoming a minority owner in the team, which is said in multiple reports, right, with NFL insiders, that he's going to have a big say in football operations within the Raiders and try and change the trajectory of the team and really push to make them a contender. I mean, they've had a lot of talent and stuff like that, but things just never seem to pan out right. It seems Brady's really trying to change that up for the better, and reportedly he's maintained this real strong relationship with Shedeur Sanders, and he's not the first quarterback in college, you know, that Brady's said to be having a big, like, mentor-like role with. As not too long ago, Bryce Underwood, the top scouted quarterback in the nation going into college, was said to have, not said to, he was recruited by LSU, had committed to go into that program, and then we started hearing all these reports, you know, Tom Brady's telling him, F LSU, go to my old school, Michigan, and had a lot to do, reportedly, with getting him a $10.5 million deal with Michigan. And it was reported everywhere, nah, he's not going to go to Michigan. LSU has got it. Underwood's going to LSU. You know, Michigan, it's out of the picture, and, you know, at the last moment, everything switched around, and he uncommitted to LSU and is going to Michigan, and Tom Brady is said to be the man that put that play all together and, possessed that influence over Underwood. And we're hearing reports of a similar situation with Shedeur Sanders and the Raiders, that he's continued to work with them, continue to have them stay focused, to not be satisfied and to push on for more, I guess like his pops Primetime did. And it said, Brady, with this heavy influence within the Raiders now, with the ownership stake and everything like that, is already putting a plan together to bring Shedeur to the Raiders when draft day comes around. Other individual you're seeing, obviously, in the Miami Hurricanes uniform is Cam Ward. A lot of people out there consider him to be the number one quarterback hitting the draft this year. Hit the comments and let me know who you think is the true number one quarterback talent-wise, Shedeur Sanders or Ward. But even with Tom Brady, said to be pushing all these buttons behind the scenes and mentoring Shedeur Sanders and Bryce Underwood, as I was stating earlier in the video, the draft is the draft. Nothing's set in stone. There's situations back in the past where we've heard of franchises being linked to certain players and they're going to bring them in, but you got the draft order, the way that falls. And right now, the Raiders have this horrible 2-12 record in the Las Vegas area. The news is always talking about the draft order, where the Raiders are at, what their record is. They want them to tank. Obviously, you can never really tank in pro sports. I don't think it's the right thing to do, but if there's been teams in the past that seem like they have committed to tanking on the low, it's like, how will it all work out? Where will the Raiders be come draft day when it comes to the draft order? Is there other teams that could be ahead of them ready to snatch up Shedeur Sanders? Or is Tom Brady already talking to, individuals on a diplomatic level with all the different connections he has with different franchises and trying to work out a draft day scenario where he can put a play together and trade to get Sanders? Or will they just fall where they need to be on draft day? I don't know, but this is pretty interesting to me. You know what I mean? Like Brady being involved with this team, and you see him rocking the Raiders hat at Allegiant Stadium. Everyone was going crazy, and he's trying to bring that Tom Brady way to Vegas, to the Raiders, as we've been seeing him, as a sports broadcaster, which I enjoy his games. I'm not a Brady guy at all by any means, being a Bills fan, but I enjoy when he calls games, like when Romo does, or certain guys that they just do an outstanding job, and Brady does pretty well. I enjoy it more than I ever think I would, as him being an arch nemesis of Bills fans everywhere. It's pretty wild to see him, involved with another team now, right? He did it while he was still playing, leaving the Patriots to Tampa, and he had a heavy input on player personnel moves and just everything with the franchise and stuff like that. And he brought a ring to Tampa in his first year there, which was insane. Second year, was a first round exit in the playoffs that was kind of ugly, and he finally retired. He should have just retired when he got that ring, but here he is now involved on an ownership level with the minority stake in the Raiders, and he's trying to change the game for the Raiders like he did for the Buccaneers, just not on the field. You know what I'm saying? Behind the scenes, making moves and trying to bring Shedeur to Las Vegas. I still always want to say Oakland or LA, man, but hit the comments and let me know what you think about this, about Brady, the Brady way, Shedeur Sanders, Brady being heavily involved in having Underwood change his decision from LSU to Michigan. And, do you think that was a good move? Like these quarterbacks, man, when Brady gets involved, they're paying attention, they're happy, they're focused. This is the guy that won this amount of rings. And, when he takes an interest in these QBs, it doesn't seem they take it lightly at all. Like Brady is so wild. Like, as we just reported everything he's doing with the Raiders franchise, now that he's not a player anymore, that was a pretty big move as well, having Bryce Underwood go to his alma mater of Michigan. Like, that LSU deal had been pretty much put in as a done deal. Media outlets reporting it on everything, and Brady gets him over to Michigan with more money coming in, man. Like, you know, it seems he still has a lot that he wants to accomplish in the sport of football off the field after everything that he's done on the field. But thanks for watching. Let's talk in the comments, subscribe, and I'm about here.